Whether you play on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, handhelds, or even mobile, there's one thing in common with each platform and the games on them. They all have sound. Now, I don't play an instrument and I don't know anything about music theory, but I do know a little bit about game design, and a big part of immersing the player in your world is the music. Even if you're not trying to immerse the player, music is a big part of any game, because if your music sucks, then the game gets dragged down with it. These are my 3 favorite games. What do all of them have in common? Their music fits the setting. Look at Team Fortress 2. The track Archimedes, named after the medic's bird, is a simple tune that fits the gritty yet goofy style the song accompanies. This could be said about the entire soundtrack, but those songs never really played during gameplay and are only really in menus and during the game's cinematics. 2 games that have soundtracks that do the complete opposite are Doom and Sonic Mania. Almost there. Oh. Come on. Come on. Oh. What's he pushing? I made a whole video about Doom, but Sonic Mania, however, has a soundtrack that is made to accompany gameplay. And yes, I know I talk about this game a lot, but please stick with me for a moment. The fast-paced, quirky jazz riffs of Metal Metallic Zone and the mechanical, futuristic-sounding beats of Chemical Plant zoom by in the background as Sonic zooms through the level. Or even something like Katana Zero, where your character pulls out a Walkman in the start of the level and turns on the music. The main objective of music is to set the tone. In Halo, the music is a grand orchestra that makes the character feel like they've achieved something, or in Katana Zero, it's a sad and dreary but still upbeat beat that goes along with the setting and fast-paced gameplay. One game that completes this task perfectly is Fez. I've never actually completed Fez, even though I own it on both Xbox and PC, but what I have played of it was amazing. I would personally put this in one of my top 10 favorite video game soundtracks of all time. I love this game so much, I could probably make an entire video about it, and maybe I will. The way the music fits the carefree pixel art of the game is perfect. I don't really know how to put it into words. All I can say is go play or watch the opening scene with some headphones and see what I'm talking about. I've only really covered music. That's because that's originally what this video was about, but then Modern Warfare came out and made me realize something. The sound from the environment and actions around the player are just as important than the music playing. And you may be thinking why a Call of Duty game got me thinking about sound design. I'm not even joking when I say Call of Duty Modern Warfare has the best sound design I've ever heard. I'm serious. The people who worked on this game deserve a huge reward. When creating sounds for a game, one huge part, like I mentioned earlier, is the tone you are trying to set. Something like a shooter has metallic clanky sounds, while something like Animal Crossing has cute bubbly sounds that fit the cartoony non-realistic setting of the game. Instead of hyper-realistic grabbing sounds, it goes for a cuter approach, playing little jingles when you collect an item. I'm very well versed when it comes to video games, but the genre I've played the most is the FPS genre, as you could probably tell. I love grinding out camos in Call of Duty and leveling up in Overwatch, and the fact that I haven't started to notice this stuff until recently is insane to me. The reload and the gun sounds itself are what make this game a masterpiece. Each gun feels crafted just right so that no matter what gun you shoot, it feels powerful. One major complaint I had about Black Ops 4 was that the guns felt like Nerf guns. Look at the starting pistol, the Strife. This is the starting pistol each player gets the moment they load into the game. It feels weak, and even more importantly, it sounds weak. Now look at the starting pistol in Modern Warfare, the X16. Even though the X16 is the starting pistol, it feels like a force to be reckoned with. My favorite example for this would probably be the Model 680. It feels like the definition of power. Each shot feels like the player is struggling to keep a hold of the gun, mixed with the powerful blast it deals out, makes this weapon a beauty to use. Stepping away from the FPS genre because I know that's not really everyone's cup of tea, one of my favorite games of 2019 was Katana Zero, which came out on April 18th, 2019 and amazed me. This was a very frustrating game, but for some reason I kept coming back. A lot of the time, if a game is too hard and takes trial and error to beat, I'll stop playing or come back to it at a later time. But for Katana Zero, that didn't really happen. I think that other than the amazing visual design and the aesthetic that the game brought to the table, the main hook was the auditory stimulation that accompanied the visuals. The slicing of the blade or the slowdown effect makes mastering the game feel great. Another game that does an amazing job at delivering impact and feel to gameplay is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Originally when I played this game, I actually didn't really notice or pay attention to things like the feel of smash attacks or final hits. But after visiting earlier games like Smash 4 or Brawl, I realized how weak the punches felt in those games. In Smash Ultimate, when you get a final hit, it zooms in on the hit and the screen goes red, with a loud noise giving you feedback to know that you won. In most cases, at least. Being conditioned to this, that when I played the older games, I felt a delay of sorts, a lack of power, as if I didn't really have full control over my character, or even that they were a worse character in general. It's definitely just because I'm so used to Ultimate, but nevertheless, it's something I wanted to point out and proves how much feel and sound together to make an enjoyable experience. You probably notice I keep using words like feel and felt. When creating video games, one of the most important things to accomplish is to make the player feel good. And I don't mean something like Fortnite putting bots into games to make new players feel good, or RNG loot boxes that try and trick you into thinking that shiny new skin you just got was something you earned. Game design is something I love to look into, and trust me, I'm no game designer or a professional at that. But I hope I've been able to share some of this with you. If you did like this video, please check out some of my other stuff, and if you really liked it, maybe even subscribe. This new style of content I'm doing is a lot more fun for me to make, and sorry I haven't been uploading lately. This year has been kind of hectic, but yeah, thanks for watching.